Hello everybody, good evening, how you all doing? Hopefully you're all doing well. It's nice to see you all. Sorry about the delay there on getting things started. I know these teams themselves are also trying to get things going, but we do have another match here tonight. It's University of New England Goofy Goobers Esports. We get to see the Goofy Goobers on stream once again here. As both these teams right now resting on 3-2 records, and if you guys know anything about the Backline Championship Series, I've mentioned it before, only the top half of the teams out of their group can make it to that playoff bracket, so the pressure is on to play well here, specifically here tonight, because very likely could be a match that determines the difference between one of these teams being in that playoff bracket and the other not. So here's a important series, as we'll get things underway in just a moment here. I know both these teams have been waiting. Credit to both of them for actually being here. And we're getting them both in, so good luck to both these teams, I guess. Best of 5. They just jumped in. First sign of me being back, they jumped right back in, but here we go. Goofy Goobers on the orange, University of New England on the blue, and we saw the Goofy Goobers only maybe a week ago, I think it was, in their last match, so I mean, we've already seen this team once. It was another win. It was a win for them, though. That's the reason why they're at this 3-2 record. We'll keep things going. Buttercup's gonna put it in. The first goal of the series. And that's gonna be a huge start for these guys, as University of New England on the board initially. Yeah, Goober saw them last week, 6 days ago, when they took on Loki's Tricksters. Won that series in Game 5. It was an aggressive, all-out offensive performance from the Goofy Goobers, but their biggest issue was often that third-man challenge, when they wanted to push all 3 players up to offense to really be the most successful they could be. That's where they had a lot of their issues, a lot of their risks, a lot of the plays go against them. So coming to a series like this, how are they going to perform against a team that overall this season is doing better than Loki's Tricksters, is one that has been a lot more successful so far? How aggressive are they going to play? Because against Loki's Tricksters, they could get away with a lot more than they probably could here against UNE. As Leopard Mode will flick this one away. Wanzord catch up to this one, and I think we have seen Buttercup before in the past. I want to say Buttercup has been here before as part of Cloudy Esports. Could be very wrong on that. But we've definitely seen Buttercup. I recognize that name very well, so I see them back again in the Backline Championship Series as Bingo Brian. Cody trying to get there first will be beat by Wanzord, as Leopard Modes will keep things going, trying to find the dunk on Shigs. It's going to be kept to the side. It's UNE who are still with this one, the Nor'easters, as they're known. Which, if you don't know what Nor'easter is, you don't live in the US Northeast, or Canadian Northeast. It's a storm. They're tropical storms, basically, is what that means. And UNE right now trying to live up to their name, raining shots up on that net, but they've actually been quite steady so far. They have not gone for too many opportunities. And it's been, I think, more of a feel-out process for both these teams, rather than the offensive affair that we saw out of Goofy Goobers back when they played against Loki's Tricksters last week. So, still a lot to go through, still a lot of battling here as well. Oh, hello there, Tardis. How you doing? Out of Godfall Gaming. Hopefully you're doing well, my friend. How's the streaming been going? Hope you've been doing well here. We got a great match so far, as Shigs is going to take a second goal. And the University of New England definitely living up to their favorable status in this series. They're coming in as the favorites. That's a great shot as well. It's just 2 goals. And again, UNE, it may be a very slow process, but they're definitely playing the better team right now. Goofy Goobers definitely struggling, although that's a huge mistake! What a save from Shigs! Leopard now, looking for the double tap. Buttercup with the stop, and Wanzord will get rid of it. UNE got on the goal line, but what a block for Shigs. Just got in the way of it, made himself large. And UNE can go upfield, bump as well! Shigs will put it in! From coast to coast, from their own defensive back line to the back of the orange net. UNE, and look at this from Buttercup. Playing Enforcer, not only does he get the dribble around one, he sends Leopard into his own net. The University of New England showing up strong here in Game 1. Goofy Goobers will have to stay back a little bit further as Buttercup flicks it away. It will be put here, and you can tell the UNE really trying to go for those rotations behind that defensive line of the Goofy Goobers. It's almost as if they're looking to start to plot some more bumps and demos as the series goes on. We haven't seen much of any of that so far from them. But you can tell, I mean, look at this. They're definitely willing to play Enforcer, and a lot of how they're rotating right now is starting to encourage that with them going behind the defenders of the Goofy Goobers. As here goes Buttercup, gets a contact on one. Shiggs trying to leave it midfield. Cody doesn't like the look, but he'll have Bingo Brian in support. It'll be very fun here as you're back in season, so we'll have more. Oh, yeah, I know. You guys just signed up for ATS. Shoutouts to all of you guys for your thing. I know we're going to get to see a lot of TARDIS streams for Godfall during the ATS regular season. And hopefully for other teams as well. Always nice to see casters try to advance and, you know, just differentiate their palette here as Buttercup will be saved away initially by Leopard Mode. University of New England, a 3-goal lead in this final minutes, and Goofy Goobers really, I mean, again, it's not like that either of these teams have really played a bad game. It's just been UNE have been a lot more consistent in those, again, demos rotating behind the defense out of Goofy Goobers, not at the defense, has definitely made a huge difference. It's made things a lot tougher to read, and although it does mean that they have to commit further to offense, those rotations are much tougher to read unless you can see them initially going into them, which often can be so tough because so often you can mask that by instead going for the ball or going for some other play and then and then feigning that you have low boost. So easy to get away with it as One Sword is going to make it 4-0 at the end of Game 1. University of New England, the Nor'easters, have struck strong. And while it hasn't been pouring with shots, 4 goals is nothing to be ashamed of. That's really, really good. Especially for Game 1, with how things have been starting. It has not been exactly the most active start for any of these sides, but it is UNE who has found their mark, has hit the target, and again, those demos have made the difference so far. Those backfield rotations, and well, I expect Goofy Goobers are almost certainly going to adapt to it. Here in Game 1, they just didn't know what they were going to get, and UNE brought the offense to them. Again, a reminder about these teams at 3-2 records. UNE do have the advantage. They are the favorites in this series. And with how Game 1's working here, UNE exceptionally strong so far, as going to be moving to Game 2 relatively soon here, but that does look like Goofy Goobers are actually going to make the sub. Yeah, Ryan's going to come in. I did see Ryan was in their VC earlier today, so Ryan is available. And we're going to have Ryan jump in instead of Cody, so looking to bring in the more mechanical Ryan, who we've seen on the stream before back on Team Ignition. He is now the sub for Goofy Goobers, choosing instead to, I think, devote more time away from the game, but still a very solid player. As we'll go into Game 2, Goofy Goobers Esports bringing in Ryan to sub out Cody. Cody's actually spectating. He didn't want to leave, so... And UNE is perfectly happy with that, so we'll keep going here. And again, players like Ryan, expect them to be difference makers. He was probably the scariest player on the old Team Ignition roster. He's still pretty good even today, even with the, you know, not being nearly as warmed up into these matchups. But for a Goofy Goobers team that could not get offense, that, you know, could not get the offense that they used so well in their last series against Loki's Tricksters last week, I can see why they'd be going for this. Someone who's going to be able to play a little bit more high level, although he's not exactly helping them so far with 2 straight whiffs on the ball. And for UNE, well, they're going to have to reset a little bit, just sit back a little further to see kind of how Ryan's going to fit into this roster. They definitely still have a lot of tools to use here, as that's going to go the wrong direction. Bingo Brian won't get to this, and oh, it's almost a mistake! Ryan gets just enough on it. He won't be credited with the save, but it might as well have been one there, as now left midfield, Ryan saves this one away. Shiggs, Ryan clears it out, and Goofy Goobers Esports, they get possession here as One Sword. The dribble. Leopard doesn't read this. Ryan will, though. And Goofy Goobers. A lot of whiffs, but he has the same kind of feeling as last game where it's very lethargic, very slow start. Not much movement going on. A lot of unanswered questions as Leopard Shigs just gets Ryan away from that one. And UNE, my goodness, surviving on the goal line again. And we're just seeing a lot of this so far. But again, the one thing I'm really looking forward to are those demos. When are UNE going to be able to mix those in? That was what was so good for them last game. It really made Goofy Goobers petrified to play defense. I gotta see when they're going to be able to bring in those long, wide rotations. So far, though, they haven't gotten very far with this, as here goes Leopard again. A lot of solo plays for Goofy Goobers, and to be fair, when you got a team with, Ryan and Leopard on it, that's not too surprising to see. Leopard often, plays a little bit more of a... He plays an interesting position, because all these players on Goofy Goobers can play support, can play aggressive. You often see him and him and Cody often switch positions to kind of play that simplistic playstyle, the consistency playstyle, if you will. Maybe that's just an analogy for Goofy Goobers as a team, but you often see him and Cody doing that. Obviously now without Cody, he's had to take that defensive role a little bit more seriously, but getting that sense that he's playing a lot more freely. He doesn't need to find Cody. He isn't really going to be looking for Bingo Brian as often. And you're seeing him go for a lot more solo plays as well, especially when you have someone like Ryan, who is absolutely a really good player when it comes to those mechanics. You're going to see a lot more of that, I'm sure, as Wanzor trying to leave this midfield. Buttercup will not get there in time as Ryan wins the challenge. Shigs, a little awkward there. Oh, Leopard completely missed, rushed his touch. And still no goals in game 2 as Wansword's missed. Bingo Brian missed the net. That was a great chance there. Wansword didn't even move. And UNE really should have been scored on there. Now it's a mistake the other way. Ryan gets enough on it and beats out the second challenge. Goofy Goobers Esports left midfield. Wansword. Ryan looking for his old teammate Bingo Brian, but able to get that one, and Wansword will clear this all the way away. And UNE and Goofy Goobers both playing an even game as Ryan in the midfield for Brian. Wansword very slow to get to it, but at this point with less than a minute to go, that next goal, that first goal could be the one to win it. Ryan, though, unable to hit the midfield, will actually run into that clear from Leopard. While GGE still has it. Yeah, UNE continuing just to send that one away as Ryan. A tap away from Shigs, and again, keeping that ball popped high. Just at this point, they're playing to waste time. They are not getting out of defense here without overcommitting in some way, and you can just tell Boost really is in favor of Goofy Goobers. They're waiting. They're playing patient. They definitely don't have the advantage anymore. And as this time continues to tick off that clock, overtime looming. Wansword off the back wall. Shigs. Oh, it's Bingo Brian instead. And with 0 seconds on the clock, maybe a chance. Back wall, left in front, and they're gonna fake this to the ground. It's overtime in game 2. And so far, the question has been, have the overcommits, have the single-player commits for Goofy Goobers been enough to send the wind out of the sails of UNE? Ryan, Wansword had no boost, still keeping it to his back corner. And for UNE, now they're in overtime, they don't have a clock ticking down, it's all ticking up. They've got to find offense, they gotta get that ball out of their own half. So those high clears, those high touches aren't gonna save them anymore. All about innovation here for the University of New England. As a double commit here for Goofy Goobers, Buttercup. He'll take this to his own sidewall and give himself space, but immediately challenged by Ryan. He has been a nuisance in the midfield. And look at the confidence that these players have because of it. This one, Bingo Brian! It's a gimme goal to end it! Shigs got beat in the midfield by Leopard Mode, and from there, Wansword he wanted to keep it up. He wanted to hit that ball over the bar. Instead, it hit the center of his car, bounced straight in front, and Bingo Brian was there. GGE, Goofy Goobers Esports, take game number 2, and with the field domination you saw there, almost all that was in the very final 2 minutes of the game. Something clicked for them. Something seemed to click because Ryan really was a nuisance in the midfield. Leopard Mode and Bingo Brian were both winning the challenges off of the plays Ryan was making. It's the success they were looking for. And with how things have been looking here, Goofy Goobers Esports, it may be a close win. At this point, they're not going to be able to rely on their exceptional offense anymore. It's all about being able to keep that possession. When you have players like Ryan and Leopard Mode who can both do things in the air. That's a lot of it as Ryan trying to get an early goal. Would love to not go to overtime this time, this game around. And with match point resting on this match, you'd like those goals early as Buttercup finds the redirect, but a light touch was not enough to beat Ryan. Now he goes, shot, Wanzoid gets there. And UNE are going to want that one gone. Wanzoid now gets by one off the back wall. Oh, it's an awkward bounce. That crossbar was not very forgiving for either team in that play. And the first one on top of it was the Goofy Goobers as Bingo Brian. Wanzoid. Now Ryan's chance. He's going to almost put that in. Awkward. Bingo Brian taps it. Gets behind the last defender in Wanzoid. And it was the last thing they were expecting was a touch like that from Ryan that almost found its net itself. Goofy Goobers Esports will score in the first minute now. And they're not done like that. Leopard. It's a high pinch. Wanzoid doesn't read this. And again, it's Ryan waiting in the midfield. Bingo Brian to clear, and University of New England just cannot seem to win the midfield right now. They aren't committing. It's almost as if they have this sense of security that no one's ever going to challenge them in the midfield, but obviously that is anything but the case. Goofy Goobers have been able to win these follow-up challenges in that midfield over and over again, and it's why they can win the midfield so dominantly and so consistently when they're able to play upfield. The fact that they've always been able to get to the ball and keep it away definitely has been a big mark for them, although Bingo Brian won't keep it here. Buttercup looking for Ryan, but it's Leopard Mode, who is no stranger to the 1v1 game mode, who will win that challenge. Goofy Goobers will now look midfield. Shigs. Here's that one away as Bingo Brian. Sent back in by Wanzoid, and here goes Leopard Mode. And, speaking of Leopard Mode, I was talking about how he's no stranger to ones. Oh, wait a second. That's a huge mistake from Ryan. And it is UNE who have scored back. A simple touch for Buttercup. Sometimes you just test the goaltender and see if they can make the save. In this case, Ryan could not. Game 3 continues as now a mistake off the kickoff. What a block for Leopard Mode. Oh man, what a huge recovery. Knew immediately that kickoff had gone south, had to immediately go back to nets, and could have been a whole lot worse, and probably should have been a whole lot worse had Leopard not been in the right position. As now Wanzoid, yet again, could have been another chance to score. Will be cleared away by Ryan. And with Goofy Goobers, once again looking for the offensive positioning. UNE continuing to play those challenges as that one's going to go to the sidewall. Ryan. Once again, the one that's keeping it in here for GGE as Leopard Mode. Wanzoid will collect, and this time, Bingo Brian maybe got a bit overconfident. His overzealous nature, which we saw, hurt him in his series against Loki's Tricksters. Will be supported by Ryan, who does have a pretty solid defensive play style, although again, he's definitely known for his ability to just make things happen on his own. He's been playing mostly a defensive role this series. I mean, it's no surprise. He did that back even on Team Ignition. Although his offense was amazing, he was often a more defensive, more cautious player when it came to how he played this game. That's still true here with how he's playing that midfield, although this time, maybe not as cautious, but definitely as defensive. For Goofy Goobers, That defensive playstyle's letting them play offense as here goes Ryan. Gets the dunk on Shigs. Leopard can't shoot this. Bingo Brian. Light tap. Shigs will save. It is space that UNE can work with as Buttercup. Great pinch, but does not get around all the defenders as Bingo Brian playing the safe role, and now he'll play for offense off the corner. Ryan for the recovery like that too, focusing on that second challenge. The viewers continuing to win these races the ball off of these touches that Ryan's making, as now it's Bingo Brian, and at this point for University of New England, they're sitting back further and further and further. Not looking for offense, they're not looking for control, they're just looking to make sure they don't get scored on at this point. It's a timid response to what we've been seeing out of Goofy Goobers Esports, but maybe something can work. Well, a pass like that will. They take the lead late, as it's gonna bounce in front for Wanzord, and he didn't even have to move for that one to take the lead. And I started asking, what's the MR rank of this lobby? This Contenders division is quite large. It's like Champ 3 to GC 3, but most of the players are GC 1, GC 2. You can say with confidence, this is definitely around the GC 2 ranking lobby. With players are Leopard and Cody might be around close to GC 1, but I know Bingo Brian is easy to do it. Ryan, I know for a fact, is hit GC 3. I can say that because I know these guys pretty well. UNE, Buttercup, I mean, this is all very, I assume these players are pretty similar ranks around that, oh dear, that GC2, like GC1, GC2 level, but maybe we gotta go on the lower end of that scale if they're missing plays like that. Second time so far this game that someone has missed a relatively, safe touch. I don't know how what's happening here, but again, sometimes the best thing to do is just to send to that net, see what goes in. Obviously some success here as, oh, what a bump from Wanzord. Was the one to cheat up on that challenge, knew that the kickoff was lost, and immediately didn't care about the ball. Just went all in for that player who's going to score in that position. So with how little time was left, he knew at that point his team's not going to go to offense. So instead, he just went for the challenge, prevented the goal from happening, and relied on his teammates to come back and support him. And yet, there we go, Buttercup doing the exact same thing on that kickoff. And look at this from UNE. They've actually won the kickoff because of it. But it won't be getting out of their half very soon as Leopard just goes right through Shigs. Now he's been demoed in retaliation by Buttercup. Pinched away. Ryan will need to flip back to this one. Beat by Shigs. Leopard keeps it away. Reminder, match point on the line, and both these teams at 3-2 records. This is a series that both these teams could look back to, and it could be the deciding factor of who goes to playoffs and who doesn't out of these two teams. But how little time's left. This is week 6 of 7 weeks total, so after this, both these teams only have one more match this season. As Buttercup, Ryan, back by Shigs as Bingo Brian will keep the offense going. Gets around Wanzord. Bingo Brian, the corner. Bingo Brian, saved away by Buttercup. And yet again, cleared back as we'll take this one. Like you see, Leopard might blow him, and this is the time to probably speak about Leopard mode, and again, his 1v1 ability. You'll be seeing a 1v1 money show match on this stream. I think it's our 5th edition. This Monday, I believe it's at 8 p.m. Eastern, with Leopard mode and John KB, his teammate on House Whiffendor, as well as a co-director for the Ascend Tournament Series. We'll get to see them play in a 1v1 show match next week as Buttercup actually had an open net to look at, but Ryan, back in time, will give this one a large touch, and in fact so heavy Shigs can't even go for it. He doesn't want to hit that one in an awkward position for his teammates. And Goofy Goobers, well, maybe not in nearly as much control as we saw at the end of last game. You have opportunities, but they've given it open, and it's Buttercup. What happened here? Oh, Bingo Brian completely misread the play in front of him. And Leopard mode at the same time was going for boost. It's miscommunication, and the University of New England Nor'easters have taken Game 3, are now one away from winning this series. I think just to put things into perspective for how these teams have been looking into this season. The next week, University of New England, they take on Astro Nebula, a team that right now is 2-3. For Goofy Goobers, they can't take on the undefeated side in Gryffindor QC, a team that, I mean, Lepid knows quite well, but he knows just how good that team is. This is essentially must win for both these sides and how they're playing. Especially for Goofy Goobers, I don't see them beating Gryffindor QC all that easily. And, well, to even get a win here, they gotta do what they did last week, which is go to Game 5, win 2 games, or, yeah, win Game 5, win that series with it. I think it would be, well, last week, they almost got reverse swept by Loki's Tricksters. This week now, they gotta make a 2-game comeback. A tall ask, a tall order, but you know, how close these games have been. I don't know about a possibility here for either of these sides to have it happen to them as... Well, for Goofy Goobers, they're gonna want to get on the board early as Bingo Brian. Wandsword with the whiff, Lepid. Oh, it's gone in! Wandsword missed it! And I was about to mention how good of a recovery he had here, but... Because he missed it off the back wall clearly. He just missed it. Didn't get full contact. And a horrible start for the team captain on UNE. As Goofy Goobers will gladly take a 1-0 lead, especially this early. It has not helped them games, but obviously it's a step in the right direction as now Lepre looking for 2. Gets stunked. Buttercup will clear. And UNE get that ball out. They've got space here for themselves. Wandzord, back wall. Ryan has it. He gets around Buttercup as well. Shigs. Lepid. Back to UNE possession. Ryan clears it away, but Wandzord wins that challenge. Bingo Brian flicked away. Ryan in open room. Can he get this one? Going! He's hit the net! I don't think he had the last touch on this one. But it might as well have been good enough. Laying the midfield edge just enough on it. And Buttercup could not get back in time. 2 goals in 64 seconds for GGE. And the likelihood of Game 5 increasing a large amount with how this game is looking so far. Ryan. Lepid mode. He's got open room. Lepid off the back wall. Left in front. UNE stuck with their cameras looking straight up. They don't know where those attackers are. Now they gotta go again. This time they're beat. It is Lepid mode with a second. And again, that ball is being shot straight over them. They can't see the attackers that are coming into it. They're forced to jump early. They're forced to, in essence, hope that they can beat those other players. But it's so tough in that position to get up fast enough. Especially when you're oftentimes jumping from a standstill with where UNE are. They're going to make things tougher for them here as left in the midfield. Lepid mode. Flip reset. Going to use it. Everybody committing on a UNE, but at this point just to get the ball out of their half as Buttercup. It's a great tap down. Gets around Ryan. That touch to the back wall. Lepid won't read it. Wandsword walks in, and he's hit the bar. A huge chance, and one that really should be a goal. UNE will want that one back. Wandsword will want that one back. As he will go, and he's pinched it to the top left corner. He'll get it back. As Goofy Goober is left on low boost. Wandsword did not leave that zone. As it is Bingo Brian. Shigs will save. Cleared away again as Lepid demoed by Buttercup. And UNE will take themselves up to offense, although Ryan, still Ryan, to the back wall goes Ryan. Wandsword doesn't get a great touch on this. Buttercup forced to jump and commit to help his teammate out. We'll get that ball away as now, off the back wall, Lepid. Waiting is Wandsword! And that's about as easy as they come. A giveaway of the highest order. And Ryan stood no chance to block that shot. Goofy Goobers Esports May have a 1-goal lead, but is a 1-goal lead that is not looking exceptionally confident. As this one off the bar, Shigs. He should have scored that one. Resting in front. It's a tough shot, though. Retardus, what are you talking about in chat? You okay there, my guy? I can't exactly help you. What's happening over? Are you okay? Please don't go to jail, by the way. I know you might be. It sounds like you're in a bar or something. What are you? Well, it looks like you're in a bar or something. What are you doing, man? I hope all's doing well. But we keep going in Game 4 as Champions Field soon to be approaching with less than 90 seconds to go. Wanzord trying to bring his team back. When there's a will, there's a way. Buttercup, Leopard, trying to chase down Shigs. It will be left midfield, but only for Bingo Bryan to collect. Leopard to beat Wanzord. Bryan didn't even give himself a chance to commit there. Left that completely open. Taking no risks at this point. When you're in the position that GGE is in, you have no reason to want to score anymore. Although Leopard's now whiffed. Shigs to go for net. Buttercup! Wide open. It's tied at 3 each. And a huge miss in the midfield from Leopard to get things started. From there was all a breakdown for GGE. The Nor'easters have stormed back. And this may be the start of their reign of terror. The end of this series. We've had 2 overtimes already. What's the likelihood of seeing a 3rd in a row? Buttercup. Straight to Bingo Bryan. Ryan already! No one jumped for it, and that could have been it. UNE stopped moving. They gave up. The shot goes wide. And now they'll play the midfield again. Wanzord. Face around the corner. Wanzord still. Ryan to clear it away as Bingo Bryan couldn't get there. Shigs, back wall. Leaving it. The fake for Buttercup. Walking in. But the save from Bingo Bryan. It hits the ground. It stays up for one more chance. Leopard mode. Trying to keep things going. Bingo Bryan. Leopard again. Wanzord to save it. It's still up in the air. Ryan won't get there as Shigs sends it away. And yes, it is a 3rd straight game that goes to golden goal territory. University of New England is only 1 goal away from a monumental win here in Week 6. Wanzord, he's been the player so far tonight that has been able to score when they need him to. Leopard mode, unable to hit that second touch. And Buttercup actually facing the wrong direction here is going to get demoed for his efforts. Left midfield, Ryan, all the room to work with. Here he goes. Saved away, follow up, and that goes high. Bingo Bryan hits it. It's an own goal. It's bounced in the back of the net. A mistake, or would it be? I really can't fault Shigs, but it's a tragedy at the end of Game 4. And it's Game 5 where this series will end. One more game. One more game. And this is where the series ends. And for a second straight week, Goobers Esports looking to win a series on Champions Field. And with their next match being against Gryffindor QC, they have every reason to want to win this one. They can't beat UNE. Good luck trying to beat Gryffindor QC. It's not happening. After losing games 2 and after losing game 2 as badly as they did, Goobers Esports called an audible, made that change to Ryan. It's been a much more possession-based playstyle so far. And it has had its moments. Last game was definitely one of them. University of New England still have one more chance to win this, but Goofy Goobers looking to make the 2-game run happen here as Ryan, Wanzord whiffed! Oh, it's hit off the post! Bingo Bryan, I don't know if he just gave up on that play, expecting Wanzer to get the touch there, but that was right in front of the net for himself. And an opportunity that should go in. I've been saying that a lot so far tonight, but teams have had so many opportunities that they really should be scoring on. Whether it be nerves, whether it be other factors, there's been a lot of missed goals. Yet I have found this series to be quite exciting as it's heating up near the end of this. As Wanzord to Shigs, that one's gonna bounce off the post as well. That's a much tougher play to make, and yet again, almost went in leopard mode. Wanzord, Ryan, off the back wall, still in front of that. Bingo Brian will not be able to get to it, says Google himself. Space for Leopard as Wanzord's overcommitted. But University of New England will wait back. Infield pass! That's hit the bar. Bingo Brian nearly had that one. And again from point blank range. Bingo Brian unable to hit his target and his mark. I just combined two words into one there. Can't even speak properly anymore. As here goes Brian again. Shigs with a block. Leopard mode, unable to find a reasonable follow-up touch. As Ryan again, off the back wall, whiffed! Oh no, another chance in front. And I think it was Brian once again. This guy is having a horrible time when it comes to getting shots off. Real opportunities, none of them have hit the net. And at this point, if you're Bingo Brian, when do you just give up and say, well, you know what? I'm not going to be scoring this game at all. Because it feels like it's one of those games for him here where he's just not going to be able to score no matter what he does. Obviously, he's going to keep trying as Leopard mode. Trying to get the fake, trying to force Buttercup to stay back. It's going to be UNE ball, but Leopard clears it out. Wanzord. And the one to start the offense for most of these possessions, although Bingo Brian's whiffed. Shigs, back wall, Leopard mode will send this one. It did bounce off of Shigs, though, meaning UNE still have it. The Nor'easters will not attack the net as Leopard mode clears it to the back corner. He'll go again as Wanzord's lost control. Shigs pinched. Wanzord will get there, but he is unable to turn it on net. Once again, no goals as this game has continued. Leopard wins the 50. Ryan to the midfield as Leopard will jump in. Bingo Brian, here's his chance. He's hit the post again. That is the third time he's hit the woodwork this game, and the fourth major opportunity that you'd think he should be scoring on. Brian cannot seem to score so far, and he has had 4 great looks at that net. And yet this game stays tied. And now he'll clear it out again. This time Leopard looking to shoot, but a bit too slow to react, and a demo in the backfield. Buttercup turns it in, looking for the play, but how quickly Bingo Brian was going into that one. Just had to settle for that challenge in the midfield instead. Now Bingo Brian again, 1-on-2. Here's the flag! 5th time's the charm for Bingo Brian. And now he does hit the net. And Goofy Goobers Esports, they've been asking. They've been giving him chance after chance. And for Bingo Brian, the demons are gone. That's goal 1. And now with the lead late, University of New England will now need to go for something extra special to come back. It's 2 goals. Ryan off the kickoff with the assist from Leopard. Goofy Goobers Esports. Maybe one of the more intense games they've had. Can't discredit how well they've been making their chances on offense look. Now it's University of New England to find something late in a game that has not gone their way. Considering the number of opportunities that have been thrown at their net compared to the opportunities that they've had, has definitely been a stark reminder of just how tough it can be to beat some of these rosters. How important that consistency really is. Bingo Brian. Keep offense. Wanzord getting forced out of the way, still has possession. Buttercup, Shigs, Leopard, he dies for that save. And University of New England will not see a chance Goofy Goobers Esports take the win in Game 5. A second straight win in Game 5 in 2 weeks. And for University of New England, their season has taken a turn for the worse. It is now 3 straight weeks of... it is now 3 straight weeks. It is now 2 straight weeks of being unable to win. In fact, it is their third time approaching Game 5 and second time losing it. So, Goofy Goobers Esports, a huge win because, of a reminder, that next week they got to play against Gryffindor QC on a team that beats 3 games to 2. Goobers Esports take the series over University of New England Nor'easters. Tough night it has been for them. And reminder, Leopard Mode, not the last time we'll see him. He's going to be on the stream on Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern, not 8, 9 p.m. Eastern. Still match against John KB, but be happy tonight with just a win like that. In Game 5 for Goofy Goobers Esports. What a night it is. Tomorrow starts RLCS as well for Team Constellation. Join tomorrow 7 p.m. Eastern Time to watch Team Constellation on this stream. Now, take care. Have a great rest of your night, everybody. What a series. That was an amazing match, just to say the very least. Of course, it from me to all of you. Thank you all so much. Have a great rest of your night. Take care, everybody. See you all tomorrow.